So the last time when I was in India, in the ashram for training, I had this epiphany when I was walking back to my little room, and it suddenly hit me and I realized what karma was and what my bad karma was. And so to give a little bit of context here, in the ashram, it was part of the training, part of the stay there to take part in karma yoga. So karma yoga is just your participation in the ashram to clean, to help just with some duties. And at this moment I really wasn't feeling like doing it. And this is also partially because, in India it's sometimes a little bit disorganized. And sometimes we would just come to karma yoga and there was nothing really to do, so we would just hang around for half an hour just to be sent home or to do just some stupid task, at least that what we were thinking, what they were. And that was one of those days where I was just really tired from a lot of Ashtanga yoga, and I just wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to have a nap, and I was just not showing up for the karma yoga. And on my way to my room, it just really hit me, so I just had to stand where I was, and I was realizing, oh, so this is what karma actually means. And so what I realized in this moment was that karma is not this God or this higher power that makes you experience bad things or good things as a response of when you do something good or bad. Karma means that the action that you do has a reaction in who you are. It's the law of call and response, kind of. So when you do something bad, it feeds into the part that is bad within you. And all of us have a good side and all of us have a bad side, and that's normal and that's perfectly fine. And karma just says that if you do something bad, the bad part within you grows. It's this reaction of your action. And I was so perplexed by standing there and realizing, oh, so when I do something bad, it's not necessarily that something bad is going to happen to me, but I myself am going to become a worse person. And as a result, I will attract worse things in my life. I will think like a bad person, and thus I will act like a bad person. And these things happen very unconsciously through samskaras. Samskaras are basically our belief systems and our behavioral patterns. So in personal growth and personal development, this is usually referred to as belief systems. They are these grooves in our brain and our neurocircuitry that we've done something a lot of the times, and that makes us repeat these kind of thoughts or make us repeat these kind of behavioral patterns. And this is basically what samskaras are. Samskaras are the result of our karma. It's the result of our actions and our thinking. So karma and samskara are two very related philosophical terms in yoga. So basically, everything we do has a reaction in ourselves, and doing things a lot of the times will change who we are. We all, for example, have some things that we would like to work on and that have become automatic. For example, some people may just wake up in the morning and straight grab their phone and start swiping. And this has become a samskara for them. It's a very ingrained behavioral pattern. Maybe one day you started doing it, and the next day you wouldn't necessarily have a big urge to do it again. Yet it has become 1% easier to follow that route, because the samskara has started to exist. It's like your nervous system, your brain has started to fire in a certain way. And so this behavior has become easier. And then you do it a third time, you do it a fourth time, and slowly but steadily this road that you've taken has become a highway. And it's very easy to take the highway. It's the fast and comfortable route. So there's your samskara. And how do we change this? In my prior personal growth journey, I always thought that things have to be very difficult. Things have to require a lot of work. You have to, pound the street and and do your work and be very committed and have a lot of self-discipline and be very focused on what you're doing. And of course, this is an important part, but this is not the most effective part and also not the nicest way to live our lives in a sense. Because it always has this opinion about ourselves that we always need to hold ourselves on a very tight leash. It has a very negative perspective of who we really are. That when we lose those reins, that we will slack off and just do stupid things. And in yoga, we can work straight on those samskaras. In deep states of meditation that can be achieved through just seated meditation, but also through other practices like yoga nidra, we can go to the root of where our samskaras, our belief systems and behavioral patterns are stored. And this is called the bliss body. In yoga we have 5 sheaths, the 5 koshas, and the thinnest sheath, the thinnest layer of ourself, so to say, is the bliss body. And this is where karmic action takes place in our samskaras, in our belief systems. And by entering into this subconscious state, it's kind of like a subconscious realm, and reprogramming ourselves at the root there is the most effective way to change old belief systems and old behavioral patterns, to not react on them all the time. Because reacting on those old things basically makes us relive our past over and over and over again.
I'm having a problem. I may be having a problem. Rita,
It's groundwork time.
see? I knew you were going to say that.
Just because we've done it once, wake up in the morning and swipe our phones, doesn't mean we have to do it again tomorrow. This basically means we're reliving our past over and over again. Maybe at some point something or someone has installed a belief system within us. It can be something very small. Maybe as a child already, something has been installed in our brain. And we're reliving this experience by being triggered by outside circumstances that trigger this samskara to come up again and make us act upon it. So it's not always necessary to dig very deep and to maybe uncover where it is coming from and do the hard work to change it. But maybe it's just a way to dig deep into ourselves first, to see, okay, it's in our bliss body, this is where the sankalpas, the samskaras are stored. So how can we change that then? By what I just already mispronounced, the sankalpas, the intention. Sankalpas are basically an intention that we place and a seed that we place into our bliss body to change our samskaras, to make an intention flourish after time to become the samskara, to become the sankalpa, So that basically by planting the seed, this information, and we basically plant it in a way that we say it in the present tense form, in a way that we are already what we want to become. So I am calm, I am present. And by seeding the sankalpa in our bliss body, it will slowly but steadily flourish and grow. So we can set this intention. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, by setting this intention now, we will be there tomorrow. An intention is like a compass. It's not a fixed map that we're following, it's a direction that we want to go. And even though if sometimes we're slacking off our path again, instead of going north, we go a little bit south or maybe east or west, this doesn't mean that we're not following our intention anymore. This doesn't mean that we've lost our way. And this is the beauty of intention and sankalpa and being able to change our behaviors in the long term. And me personally, it freed me a lot from having this perception of I have to work so hard, I have to be so disciplined all the time. Because this is not such a beautiful place to live every day, to have complete discipline, holding yourself on a very tight leash, thinking of yourself as this very sluggish person that cannot do anything if it's not being held on this tight leash. On the contrary, it's acknowledging our human nature of making mistakes and growing time and step by step. And so Meditation and especially Yoga Nidra are these beautiful tools of how we can set intentions to slowly and steadily, but holistically, move into this way of transformation.